Hi everybody, welcome to your lecture on the chemistry of life. When we're talking about chemistry, the first thing we're going to discuss are elements. They are the things that make up the periodic table. Each little square is an element. They are the fundamental forms of matter, and each has only one type of atom. It can't be broken into simpler parts and keep the unique properties. There are 92 elements that occur naturally on Earth. The most common elements in organic molecules, meaning that they are from life, are carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, and sulfur. And they can be remembered through the acronym CHNOPS. CHNOPS. It sounds like chin-ups to me. That's how I remember it, chin-ops. And that'll be very beneficial for you to help remember those elements. Calcium and potassium are also very common, but the first six are the ones that you're going to really have to know. This is a diagram of how much of the element are in your body. So you can see that oxygen right there is 65% of your weight is composed of oxygen. That includes all the oxygen in the water. 2/3 of your cells are made with water, so that 65% includes the oxygen in the water. Carbon is next at 18.5% of your weight is made of carbon, and it is the one molecule that is the most abundant in organic substances. So everything living, organic chemistry is actually carbon-based chemistry. Hydrogen comes in third at 9.5%, and then nitrogen is at 3.3%. Nitrogen is the most abundant element in the Earth's atmosphere. So the air and the atmosphere is full of a lot of nitrogen. What are atoms? Atoms are the smallest particle that retain properties of an element. They're made up of subatomic particles that are the protons, the electrons, and the neutrons that have no charge. The protons and the neutrons make up the nucleus in the middle. So the protons are blue and the neutrons are gray, and the electrons are there in the picture in yellow. The protons and neutrons make up the nucleus, and if you add them together, that is how they get the atomic mass. The electrons have basically no weight at all and rotate around the outside in a cloud. So if you look here at the periodic table, you have hydrogen and helium, and then you have on the second shelf lithium through neon, the third shelf, sodium through argon. This is showing you the positions of the electrons, and they're in rings called shells. So the first one only contains 2 electrons, and then the second shelf, when it's completely full, can contain 8 electrons. Look at how they are paired together. They like to be buddied together. And then the third ring can also contain 8 electrons. Isotopes, we talked about them at length in class and did an activity with them. They are atoms of an element with different number of neutrons, which means they have a different mass number. They weigh a different amount. So carbon-12 is your example here. It has 6 protons, and you should know the amount of neutrons it has by subtracting the number of protons from the mass number. Carbon-14 will have 8 neutrons instead of 6, like carbon-12 has. Because it is heavier, it has more neutrons. Radioactive isotopes have excess neutrons. As you add more neutrons, it becomes less stable. Radiation is mostly the extra neutrons that shoot out of the nucleus. They can act as tracers because they show up on X-rays and radiation detectors, and it's useful in many areas of biology. They use it a lot in medicine to detect cancers and all different things. So radioactive isotopes are used a lot. Neutrons are in a nucleus to keep everything together. If you think about batteries. When you're trying to put a bunch of positive sides of batteries together, they repel each other. They want to go away. And that's how the protons would act if they were only alone. The neutrons go in between them and fill up the spaces so that they can stick together instead of repelling and being destroyed. So that's why the neutrons have to be in the nucleus of the cell, because if you have more than one proton together, they're both positively charged, they'll repel each other. The neutrons keep that from happening. Bye.